Hey, what's up there, party people? I'm blocking the view of the shirt. I decided it's Thanksgiving, and I'm very thankful, but I wanted to, you know, show a little Seth. So I don't know. I feel like the camera's a weird angle, and you're kind of, what if I move up? I don't, I don't know what. Well, I could actually be like this. Yeah, yeah, that works. What's up, party people? We got some good stuff going on tonight. Some weird stuff, like I pointed out to uh right before the show to Bobby that I have cards that say things like this, and then I don't know what it means. So I think that there might be a little lag, but I don't think so. This is the new computer. I'm looking at it. Woof. I'm looking at it. Now I see that my eyes are already running and I look like an elderly Jew. I do want to start out before we do anything. This is an unsigned drumhead with a Charlie Sheen ticket. That's the ticket from the Charlie Sheen show. That's going to hang on the wall. This way, everyone who comes in here could be like, hey, why is there a Charlie Sheen ticket behind a drumhead with no signature? Exactly. Exactly. Tonight, we're going to talk about gigs and such. Um, when your kids are into music the way you are, and they start to gig the way you do, shit happens that it's kind of funny. Maybe I should lean back, except again, I have that like weird. Oh, this'll do. So I'm just going to rest this on my nutsack. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and for some people, when you don't have your loved ones around, or you do have loved ones in limited quantity, or you're just missing your parents. The holidays sometimes are rough. Sometimes they just blow. Uh, I feel like everything that is like everything. I don't know if I've ever discussed it. I believe that men have a cycle. I used to have a psycho, but I got divorced. So I think that men have a cycle, and obviously not a menstrual cycle, but I feel like your body and your brain operate on a cycle, for lack of a better word to describe a cycle. And so this week is my cycle because I'm like a little out of sorts, a little more forgetful than usual. If anything shiny goes by, obviously, well, that's all the time. Now I don't even need a shiny thing because I'm having, because of my eyes, I'm having floaters. And the first thing I thought of when the doctor said you have floaters with, I said maybe this is the deal with the vertigo, and I thought floaters are when you shit in someone's toilet. Oh, that's an upper decker. It's an upper decker, and I'm not going to get into it and describe it because okay, I will. So you shit in the toilet tank, and then every time they flush the toilet, the water gets brown because there's duty in the toilet tank. So until that duty is gone, dissolves, or whatever duty does, uh, and that's called an upper decker. Um, I've never done that. I've never had it done to me. I do think it's hilarious. Hilarious. I think it's hysterical, the upper decker. Tonight, once again, I'm drinking White Claw Peach. It's a manly drink. When I open it, you're going to hear it fucking pop. Pop, 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 pop. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for all of you people that tune into this. You know, I consider myself lucky to have the three of you uh, join me every week. And so, in fact, when you turned me on, the I was texting Stan the link because some people aren't like technologically, like I suck at technology. I'm not savvy at all. But with that said, I know that if I watched something last week, I could probably find it again this week. I guess some people can't. I guess some people can't. Charlie Sheen didn't fucking sign this thing either, this White Claw. Um, so bitter, a bit bitter, a tad bitter. So yeah, so I don't want to keep this in my lap. I honestly don't think my thighs have ever been visible before. So we're gonna do this. Look at this. Yeah, that works. I don't know. I feel like when I sat down, my hands kind of pushed up on my balls, and as you get older, there's gravity involved. It reminds me of my aunt Sarah and Uncle Herbie. They were very much in love. My mom's sister and brother-in-law. Um, and after Uncle Herbie passed, Aunt Sil came to live with us, and you don't know someone till you live with them, and that's true. But I digress. So they, as a commitment to their love, and this is kind of beautiful, they decided that every night they'd eat dinner together, and they'd ask about the day, and then they would say something amorous, something provocative, something sexual. Uh, they'd filth it up. They'd talk dirty. Um, and so one night, and the way Uncle Herbie told me the story with his cigar in his mouth, classic. But so he said, and your Aunt Sylvia says to me, my tits are hot for you. And I said to her, I can see that because one nipple is in your soup and the other nipple is in your coffee. So, men go through the same thing. And uh, I'll say a friend of mine so I don't embarrass myself. And a friend of mine told me that when he sits down on the toilet, his balls dip in the water. So it's gravity. It's gravity. And, you know, with the apple and Wayne Newton and all of that, and Wayne Newton and Isaac Newton. Those guys, that was the best. I think they had the White Tigers. I know they were in Vegas for a long time, Wayne and Isaac Newton. They it was a tough ticket to get. Tough ticket to get. Fortunately, I can get them. I am excited because I had mentioned that Love Letters and Other Filth um, is is coming to reality. It's going to be, I don't know, printed. I don't even know if they still print books. You'll be able to watch it. You'll be able to listen on Amazon. You'll be able to buy it on Amazon. Read it on your Kindle. Make sure there's no kids around. Love letters and other filth. Love letters and other filth. And hopefully I'll have some good news about Dispense as written, my years in the pharmaceutical industry. So who knew that all of this would be so therapeutic? This show, I tell you every week, I want to give you a copay. It's going to be loud, guys. That wasn't so loud. Not bad. So again, a Thanksgiving toast. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do enjoy this. Bobby's great to work with. Jacqueline's great to work with. Uh, my co-host. I have so many personalities that I feel like I'm the host and the co-host. So I believe next week to start off the season, the Christmas season, we are going to be at Kitty O'Hara's in beautiful Baldwin. I call it beautiful Baldwin because when you drive into Baldwin, there's a sign that says "Welcome to beautiful Baldwin." Uh, Ironically, Alec Baldwin has the same sign hanging over his door, uh, and that's Hilaria. That's his wife's name, Hilaria, which that is kind of Hilaria. You're going to hear the mic squeak. Oh, much better. Now I hear myself. Oh, that was a whistling S. Seth Salwin with a whistling S. So the Modelo sign, I did some work on. It was very dim, and it turns out that the reason why it was dim, is because the guy I got it from hooked it up to a dimmer. I've never heard of a neon sign being hooked up to a dimmer. I thought you're not supposed to do that. The guy did it, I don't fault him. Doesn't matter because I fixed it. So, and I feel like that's the bottom line. If you can fix stuff, not a problem. Um, I did make an offer on a house boat. Um, no bullshit. A liveaboard. It's built on a barge. It's a three-story house. It's for real. It's built on a barge. I need to be on the water. I need to be on the water. With that said, I don't want to be flooded. The beauty of a houseboat, of a liveaboard, is that the tide goes up, so does your house. The tide goes down, so does your house. So I don't think you have the flooding issue, um, because you rise and fall uh, with the tide. Time and tide wait for no man. Time and tide wait for no man. I do want to give you a Comedy Central roast quote that I find hilarious. Um, and it's Greg Giraldo, rest in peace, says, John Lovitz, you faggy Jew. Uh, there hasn't been uh, a quiet Jew in the closet since Anne Frank, or you're the quietest Jew in the closet since Anne Frank. There aren't a lot of Anne Frank references, so I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty funny. Someone made an Anne Frank, Caitlyn Jenner joke recently, obviously, because Caitlyn used to be Bruce Jenner. How fucked up is that? I have a Sports Illustrated up in the attic with O.J. Simpson and Bruce Jenner, and they were the shit, man. They were it. And look what happened. O.J. Simpson, I mean, the poor guy returning the sunglasses gets his head sliced off. That's kind of messed up. Uh, I think that this is caught on the. Oh no, that's the headphone is actually strangling me. Guys, you don't mind if I just adjust it because it's. Oh my god, I couldn't figure out what that was. It was making the shirt fit weird. It was hurting me, and I didn't say anything until I thought of Nicole Brown getting beheaded. You got to have some kind of rage. I think statistically, when someone gets stabbed, they say that it's someone who they are close to because number one, to stab someone, you got to be close in proximity, and number two, it's such an act of uh, hatred and malice. I I don't think I could do it. I always say that, but then I remember Jacqueline. I say I could never take a human life. Sit at dinner with someone who stutters 6 or 7 dates in a row. You'll do the same thing. You'll do the same thing. Give me a break. So that actually reminds me, last year about this time, I was digging in the backyard in Freeport. I was digging a hole and I hit something hard. Sounded metallic, and I'm like, I think my exact words were, "What the fuck?" I know you're shocked. Um, it was a fucking box filled with gold coins, doubloons, if you will. It was gold coins. So I immediately grabbed my phone to call my girlfriend. And then I remembered why I was digging the hole in the backyard. So the coins are nice. Coins are cool. I feel like It's a win-win-win. It's a win-win-win. So I had mentioned tonight we're going to talk about some gigs. Um, and oh, snap! I got my doctor's test results back. You people are probably like, this guy's a fucking hypochondriac, and if that's what you think, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm a nymphomaniac. I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm an amateur gynecologist. You got to have hobbies. So I got my doctor's test results back. Turns out I'm not going to be a doctor. I didn't do well. I didn't do well. Um, and also, I had mentioned, oh, there was a lag. That's how I test the lag because I'm a grown up. Um, so I had mentioned my shrink, uh, but this week my grief counselor died. My grief counselor died. You know what? She did such a good job with it. I didn't even give a shit. I didn't even give a shit because she's an amazing, amazing grief counselor. Here's another card that says Asian chicks. So that makes two. Uh, I don't even know what that means. Asian chicks. I mean, I know what Asian chicks are, but look at that. That was a fat Seth, not with PH. That wasn't a PH fat. That was a fat fuck, that kid. That no wonder I used to get my ass beaten up. Um, so also the just a callback to last week's show. Uh, we were talking about words and the importance of words and how words matter. And so I was thinking that there are words that I love. There are words that, that just, they kind of roll off the tongue. And I might have mentioned that when you type the letter A on text messaging, and this is the universal text message sign, when you type the letter A, the first word that pops up is abso-fucking-lutely. So I must use that a lot. When you type the letter U, the suggestion is unfucking believable. Here's where it's a little weird because when you type the letter D, think of how many things start with D. And the suggestion is D fucking licious. What the hoo ha hey? What am I? A sailor? Who fucking talks that way? But so when I was thinking about it, I have my favorite Chinese words. I have my favorite Hebrew words. Um, I think my all-time favorite word in English, because I live in America, I think my all-time favorite word is indecisive. No, no, wait. I don't think that's my favorite word. Indecisive. Maybe it is. Oh shit. Now it's not. It's not. So we are going to jump right into your pants. No. Um, oh my God. Before we start, so I got a new snare drum. We're going to talk about it next week because I have some snare drums that are insane. I have some snare drums that are over 100 years old, and I have some snare drums that are brand spanking new. I have drums in my drum room on the shelf that have tags on them. And when I spoke with Abby this week, she was like, "Daddy, you should be using them all. You should be using them all because you get such enjoyment out of them. I can't think of anything you love as much as drums." Oh, I can. Daddy, you're disgusting. So, and I didn't even say anything. So I'm thinking maybe she's a mind reader. She's a mind, I don't know. Yes, so I am doing this video for the company that makes the snare drum that they just sent me. And I said, this is weird. It's a little limp, but it's tight, but it's limp, but it's tight. So they sent me this snare drum and it's an Ace Cannon 1408. Thing is beautiful. The thing is really nice. at a price point that I think people who don't play drums should buy it and keep it in their living room because I think that you get more action when you're a drummer. I think you'd get laid more. Um, I digress. Ding. I want to have a digress counter. So the the she sends me an email, Sabrina from China, and she says, "Can you, uh, maybe make a video of either unboxing it or, something along those lines, and play it and use these hashtags, and then we're going to send you something else." So I said, "Well, can't you just bring it when you come to visit me?" And I don't know. It's like her reaction was like I'm some kind of predator. Um, God, I remember that show, To Catch a Predator. I'm Chris Hansen. I'm like, I know, I watch your show all the time. What are you doing here? Oh, oh. Why do you have wine coolers and condoms? Uh, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? These are yours. So, Chris Hansen, that's a tough gig. That's a rough way to make a living. And I'm also shocked that no one ever punched him in the face. So, I'm shooting the video. That's the drum, actually. That is it. And I'm shooting the video, and I said, I'll tell you what, this fucking drum is the most bang for the buck. Now, I'm making this video for them, and that wood, it's basswood, which I don't know what that means, but it is outstanding. It has for a deep, deep drum, it has a great sound, but look at how pretty it looks. Sometimes looks are are as important. Listen, drums, a lot of them sound similar. A 14 by 8-inch deep it's gonna be a loud drum. It's gonna be a loud drum. Right out of the box, it sounded great. 42 strand, wide snare wires. I did nothing. I left the stock heads on it, the stock wires, and I was using it today. This is a drum that costs 10 times what the other drum costs. That's Kathy Rich's signature, Buddy Rich's daughter. And I might have showed this last week, but Buddy Rich, that plate is his signature. This drum is made from aircraft aluminum, no bullshit, and it has a sound like no other drum. Listen, I have 62 snare drums. This sounds like nothing else. This is a cool, cool drum set because these are Asba from late 1960s, early 1970s. Those are steel shells. Those are made of steel. I do have the matching snare. This kit is for sale. The snare is not for sale. The snare I'm keeping. But the 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 loudest, heaviest, loudest drums I've ever heard. And if you want to see some of these videos, you can check them out on my YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/at SethRock1. Uh, that's a mouthful. That is a mouthful. But yeah, so there's some cool videos. Someone commented on a video of me and my son on the Ocean Parkway, and I'm driving the Mustang. November, the top is down, which very much like today, it was 60 degrees. And I was driving because he was 14. He threw a pumpkin out of the back seat and it shattered in the road. I think I was doing probably 100 miles an hour. Um, and I'm only kidding. Well, he's 24 now, so uh, it gives him something to talk to his therapist about. So we threw the pumpkin, and I said, maybe we should go back and clean it. Like it was a ballsy, cool thing to do. And then I pussed out. So I'm like, maybe we should go back and clean it because if a deer stops to eat the pumpkin, then a car's going to hit the deer. And he says, oh, then we should absolutely go back. So I cut across the grass onto the westbound lanes We drove to approximately where we threw it. I made a U-turn, put on my flashers, and jumped out. And I said to him, "You should drive while I pick up the pumpkin." And he says, "Daddy," he might have been 13, "Daddy, I'm 13 years old." And I said, "I know. That's when I learned to drive too. This is a beautiful moment." My parents would go to Florida, and I would take their car. Um, First, I'd call Adam Sauer and say, "What are you up to?" And he would say, "We should steal your parents' car." And I would say, "Done. I'll try anything twice." So, yeah, so someone commented on the video, uh, that, that I win the parenting contest. And I'm like, is he being, is he being a wise ass? Because I do think that's a cool parenting moment. There's also a video of him building his volcano for the school science project and me encouraging him to really load it up with whatever the fuck comes shooting out the top. And it's shooting out the top all over my kitchen ceiling. So didn't matter. I was the one who did all the cleaning in the house anyway. Um, so the gigs and such, when you're a Long Island musician, a few years back was a drummer, uh, a pretty well known drummer. He was playing with everyone. He was a musical whore. Anyone who needed a drummer, bam, he was there. Bam. And yeah, he was going through a divorce. It was a rough time. Uh, and he had expensive taste in alcohol. So um, so I would do a lot of gigs. And most people have a gig set that they use. Again, I have a lot of drums, and I feel like you have them to use them. You have them to use them. At this time, my children, that was my gig set at the time, and I still have that. That's my bar mitzvah kit. It's a Slingerland kit, of course. Um, I love those drums, and they're wrapped in black chrome. So that's a lot of drums. And if you remember, my original hashtag is Mustang full of drums. I used to transport that in the Mustang. Uh, I also would transport the PA. That's it. God, I love it. I love it. Those Yamaha mounts that are on that kit in the photo have been changed back to Slingerland. That was when I was young, and I felt that it should be easier to play. Look at the perspiration line. Okay. When I say I lose weight when I play drums, look at the perspiration line. And that's not, I wasn't playing, Anagata Devita. I wasn't playing, some crazy, crazy drum song. Sing, sing, sing. I wasn't playing Caravan. I was probably playing, judging by the mic in my face, I was probably playing 8675309 or Jesse's Girl. Those those are, that's what I sing, those kind of songs. So look at the Schwitz line, the perspiration. It's a turn on, right? I sweat like Mike Tyson at a rape trial. It's crazy. Look at the sweat. But so there's my little monitor to my over my shoulder behind the mic. It's a lot of drums, monitor, PA. The end of the night, it gets crammed into the Mustang. Now, keep in mind that at the same time this is happening, I have a son and daughter, and my son is taking lessons, and he is, God, look at the hair. I love it. And he is good. He is very, very good. Jerry Ricky, uh, Jerry Ricky, Dennis Ricky's brother at Long Island Drum Center, was Gil's first teacher, and he's so good, very technical, so good, does drumline, etc. Um, and he then studied with Bobby Rondinelli, the amazing Bobby Rondinelli, who's not only a great drummer, he's an amazing person, an amazing friend, um, just a great all around guy. Then this little beauty says, "Daddy, show me to play a few beats." So um, there's nothing I wouldn't do for her. And for most people, I'd help them move. To steal a line from Dave Attell, For her, I'd help her move a body. So there's nothing she could do or say that would upset me unless it was like, Daddy, I want to become a man. That would upset me. Um, but, they're great kids. Mustang full of drums. Look at that. The trunk is already full. The back seat then has to have shit put in it. So picture a snowy evening, December, before the rains. No, it's a snowy evening, and I have a gig at JD's place on Route 109. It's a biker bar. It was a very cool place. It had a great stage. It had great sound, and so there was no PA in the back seat, thankfully. I did bring my monitor because I like that little Behringer monitor. This is what the back seat looks like, and it's warm enough that I could have the top down. However, that particular winter, nighttime would come and it would be cold. We'd get snow, we'd get hail, we'd get all kinds of shit. So my boy tells me that he has a gig with friends. It warms my cockles. It warms my cockles. I'm like, the boy has a gig with friends. That's great. So he says, I want to use my own drums. HB, Dave Moody, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for HB drums. Um, my son had my first HB spring kit. And it's another big kit. It was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 floor, 22 kick. So 7 piece, I think. 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 7 piece. I'm counting on my fingers. That's how you know I'm a drummer. So that was Gil's set. It's upstairs in my den with silent stroke heads and Zildjian low volume cymbals. Fantastic. So so he would go out and he'd only take 5 drums. Listen, you got 7. Let's make a toast to using big drum kits. Although as I get older, I'm very content with a small 4-piece set, l'chaim. That is delicious. Got a bubble up, right? Mm, that's good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, so Gil had a gig. I had a gig. The ex was not a fan of drums or anything I did. So, so I said to him, "Don't worry about it. I'm playing from 8 to 12. You'll hang. I'll pick you up." So I get a phone call saying, "Hey, um, Daddy, his parents want us to leave. I can't stay here all night." So I said, well, I have my drums uh, in the car. I'm going to go drop them off." And he says, "No, there's no time. You have to come get me." All right, it's on the way home. I go to pick him up. He's standing on the porch with the drums in cases on the porch. And I'm like, the fuck? And it starts to snow. Big flakes, big flakes. And I'm like, what is with the giant flakes? Holy shit. By the time we start to load the car, the streets are covered in snow. So I said, "Listen, champ, I don't know how we're going to do this. Daddy, you can't leave it here. You can't leave stuff here." Yet, no, I understand that. Well, I'll go home and unload and come back. We're in Plain Edge. We live in Plain View. It's right up the road. Daddy, you can't. We got to take it. So I said, "All right, champ." I put the top down, shoved the drums in, as many as I could fit in, and you see, I put the top back up, and you see, like, I don't know how to do this. You see, like, things sticking up through the roof, through the like, pushing on the roof, and I said, "Oh, this is bad." And he says, "Well, you just said we only have to go one exit." I said, "That's true." So I put the bass drums on the trunk. I thought that was fucking genius. Bass drums on the trunk, and get ready, bungee cords onto the spoiler. Done. Although I'm concerned because you see all of these things sticking up through the roof, like into the soft convertible top. Thinking we hit a bump, it's gonna tear. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I said, "We're just gonna drive slow." However, the streets are empty. It is lit up between the snow coming down and the snow on the ground. It's so lit up. And I know that he gets nervous. And the way to confront your fears helps to take away the nervousness. So the first corner, I fucking jam the gas pedal down and we do a complete 360. The look of terror on his face, I almost felt bad. I did a 360 in the snow. It was so much fun. So I said, just relax. We'll be home. I had to do that. You didn't have to do it. Well, I did have to do it. Have we met? Have we met, son? So I get on the Seaford Oyster Bay, headed north, 135. And he said, "Are we going to be okay or are we going to get in trouble for this?" And I said, "The odds on a cop pulling us over are slim and none. It is not going to happen. We're going one exit." With that, whoop, 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 woo, we get pulled over. So I said, "Officer, can I ask why you pulled me over?" And he says, "You have drums on the trunk and stuff sticking out through your top." A hi-hat rod did go through the top. That kind of sucked. So I said, "Yes, I'm a drummer." And he said, "Yeah, that was my guess." And my son said, "I'm a drummer too." And he said, "Ah, okay then. License, registration, insurance." I had so much shit in the car. The console was blocked. The glove box was blocked. I said, "I can't give them to you. I don't have them. I have them, but I can't get them." So he said, "Fair enough." I said, "I do have my license here and my 1013 card. If you call Mitchell Cohen, he'll vouch for me." He goes back to his car. He comes back, and I see lights flashing. It was the flash from his camera as he's taking photos. So he said, "Mitchell says you're an asshole, and I have to agree based on my limited time with you. Slow it down and get this boy home." And I was like, "Oh my God, bizarro." Um, and then I switched to four small drums, and so did Gil. But so I mean, that's what happens when it's a family affair. Um, it's a family affair. Before we jump uh, into storage, I do want to mention my sponsors. And again, I'm thankful for my sponsors, very thankful. Uh, and I do want to also throw into the mix my three sons on 11th Avenue in Brooklyn in the Fort Hamilton section. Fucking great diner. Larry Scott, Larry Scott Pro Gear. Larry came to bring me a snare drum on Saturday or Sunday. It might have been Sunday. But Larry went to All American after my house. The dude brought back like $200 worth of food to Jersey. Larry is a great guy. I mean, he brought the snare drum to me. And every time I see him, I feel bad that I don't hang out with him more. I feel like I should see him more. He's got great gear, guys. Look him up. Go Granny Racing. Go Granny Racing. Angela is not only a resource, a horse resource. I like that, a horse resource. She is so knowledgeable, and and if you remember, her horse gave birth. Boom Chicka Boom is my favorite name for a horse, and it just so happens that's Angela's horse's name. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. And I still want to have her on the show. I don't think she wants to be on. Wait a minute, is New Year's Eve a Wednesday? Because that would be fantastic. I don't know if it's a Wednesday. Um, but All American, as previously mentioned, fantastic. Fantastic. Everything is fresh. God, I want All American right now. Right this second. And the best part is then I get to waddle across the parking lot, my fat carcass, and go to Marshall's ice cream. Diane Marshall's awesome. Someone told me I also say awesome a lot, and that's because when I say someone's awesome, they're fucking awesome. I don't throw that term around loosely. I throw douchebag around. When I say someone's a douchebag, they might not be a douchebag. I throw that term around a lot. Um, but I spoke before about Aunt Sil and Uncle Herbie. I remember when he was taking Viagra. He was prescribed Viagra. All his nieces and nephews expected it. We weren't shocked, not shocked at all. Aunt Sil took it hard. She took it hard. Um, yeah. This one says Spanish chicks. Oh my God. I do love women. I do. Uh, apparently Asian chicks and Spanish chicks. Um, so I think I told you that my girlfriend dumped me. I guess she sobered up. What do I know? Lady goes into a doctor. She's got a lettuce leaf sticking out of her lady parts, out of her pussy, is what it says in my notes. She's got a lettuce leaf sticking out of her pussy. Um, and the doctor says, "Oh my God, this is going to be strange." And she says, "That's just the tip of the iceberg. Just the tip of the iceberg, that lettuce leaf." Uh, I thought that was fucking hysterical. Then, speaking of my girlfriend, she always wants to spoon. Oh, let's spoon. I'd rather fork, if you know what I mean. I'd rather fork. Um, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. So I was with my friend Dick the other night, and a couple other guys showed up at the bar. My friend Andrew. Uh, I mean, we call him Drew, and I get how you get Andy from Andrew or Drew from Andrew. And it's the same way you get Rob from Robert. I have a cousin Rob. I was going to say Brian's brother Rob. I have a cousin Rob. Um, Rob is short for Robert. So I said, "Hey man, how do you get Dick from Richard?" And he said to me, "You ask nicely." I was like, "That makes sense." Uh, and then the other, before we jump into storage, I I'm spilling all the beans. My girlfriend caught me masturbating to an optical illusion. I said to her, "Baby, this is not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like." So, so if we could show the first storage pictures, how's that for a segue? It's not what I'm masturbating to an optical illusion. Let's go into storage pictures. Um, now the eyes going, yeah. Uh, so there are some units that I'm bidding on right now, and I have a new favorite thing to bid on, and that's wheels. Wheels and tires. Wheels and tires. I love bidding on them. I love bidding on them. Wheels and tires, motorcycles, and drums and musical instruments. This unit has a motorcycle in it. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. Look at how low the bid is. The bid is fucking $30. That's pretty awesome. Uh, Now there's what's it say, 13 days left? It's gonna go for a hell of a lot more than that. But if it's something that I think is worthwhile, my new philosophy is that anything in Manhattan is money because that tiny little 5 by 5 storage unit is like $400 a month. You're not putting bullshit into the unit. Uh, you know, you're spending 4 or $500. You're not putting crap in the unit. I'm sorry, you're just not. This unit I bid on because it's Garden City, and every time I've won anything in Garden City, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. So I went with that. Um, this unit I'm not allowed to bid on because it's public storage, and I am banned from public storage because of that shitty Farmingdale toilet of a storage place. And I'm saying that from the heart. This unit has drums and is in Jamaica. It also has wheels and tires and chairs. I look for a lot of chairs because that could mean it's a church unit. I have an auction closing on Saturday that I'm pretty sure I'm going to win, and it has awesome chairs, and they're still in the plastic. So, and I mean, they were bought for a church. You can use them for anything. Now, this one puts a caveat, and my proxy bid on this one is uh, is high, and it would be renting a motorcycle trailer going to Johnston, Rhode Island. But there's a bike that you don't see, and it says that uh, only one of the two bikes has a title. I could give a shit. I could get another title. There's another unit I'm bidding on that has this one. I'm the high bidder. This this is going to go for, I would guess, $500. Problem is, I don't know that the bike is worth much more than that. So that becomes the problem. Do you go higher? And this, I tapped and decided if it hit more than 350, I can't bid on it. Also, I don't even know where the fuck Rock Tavern is. So so I'm committing to bid on something, and I might have to drive, like I did for the Lincoln to the fucking Canadian border. That would suck. That would suck. That would be a problem. This is a pod. Now, here's the beauty of storage pods. For the most part, people rent a pod when they're moving a house. When they know they're going to another house and there's a wait. There's a whole philosophy behind renting a pod. I think that my proxy bid on this is either $1,110. It's somewhere up there because it's gonna get bid up at the last minute. I can't do the last minute bidding because then you get caught up in it, and you're like, "Oh, I'm all caught up in it. I'm gonna win this." And you get the win at any cost attitude. Don't. It becomes not. I think I told the story. My brother and I bid on a fax machine at an auction, and we wound up paying a lot more than it was worth. So we may or may not have done it with speakers as well, um, which we both still have, design acoustic PS10s. So those storage units are, currently what I'm bidding on. I might have sent Bobby, I have a couple of trucks that I'm bidding on. Um, so it really is drums right now, drums, trucks. Uh, oh, a couple of these you saw I was winning in the last set of photos. And I'm losing now. Leave it on this for a minute, Bobby. This is a whole 'nother thing. How am I supposed to bid on this? What what are you showing me with that picture? You're showing me some chick or effeminate dude standing at a garage door. How, how the fuck do I know what's in there? So between that and blurry pictures, How the fuck do I know what's in a unit if the picture's so blurry I can't see it? I get it. I get it. This is another one. I tapped out on this at 2,500. To me, it looks like a whole bunch of shit. Now, again, I've had this discussion. When it's your shit, you feel like it's worth everything. Oh, that's my shit. That's my fucking, you know, whatever. My cartoon drawings that I made myself in third grade. Those are my bar mitzvah centerpieces. That's my, it's all shit. It's all shit. So, but that's someone's shit that they think is worth $1,000,000. Apparently, someone's bidding it up. Look, it's almost at 7,100 bucks. That's insane. This truck, the auction got extended. I don't know how that happens. I'm not happy about it. Um, for some reason, it's not moving. I'm like the high bidder, and it's not moving. It's a $40,000 truck all day. I think it has 3,200 miles, maybe 2,300 miles. That's no miles. That's it. That's that's money. I could call Carvana and have them pick it up and make 20 grand on it. So, and again, people are like, "Oh, this is a great gig. I'm gonna do it." It's not so fucking wonderful. What you're seeing is the highlights. It's not like that show, Storage Wars. It blows. This one also has drums. Look at where it is. I'm going to Washington, D.C. to load up a U-Haul. Kinda silly. Kinda silly. I want the drums. I want the drums. So, this one, you see them right front and center. I've won auctions in Philly before. I won a Harley Davidson down in Philly. Um, they gave me a real hard time. They said, "Oh, the motorcycle is for parts. It's for parts, you can't take the bike." And I said, "I bought the unit, I'm taking everything in it," and I did. I was able to get a clear title, sold it. It was very profitable. That's another motorcycle sitting there that, I don't even know where Fraser, Pennsylvania is. Probably 10 fucking hours. I get this unit, I think my proxy bid on it's 1,500 bucks. I get this unit for 1,500 bucks. I sell the bike for 10 grand. Everyone wins. Everyone wins. So, this unit I tapped out because there's 5 guitars in the rack, 5 guitar cases. There's nothing in all those cases. Those cases are fucking empty. Those are empty. I'm telling you, those are empty. I would bet anything on it. So, couple of quick observations before we wrap up. It's almost time. This one, Fayetteville, it's drums. It's drums. But when I could see what kind of drums, and I know it's a brand I like, Slingerland, I go for it. And anything with chairs, this unit is filled with stackable chairs. I have chair buyers. There are not enough chairs in the world for me. If it's chairs, it's money. If you're someone who competes against me for this and you steal my ideas, I will be very upset. So, in closing, guy goes into a doctor's office. Doctor says, "How are you?" Guy says, "Well, doc, I have 5 penises." The doctor says, "How do your pants fit?" The guy says, "Like a glove." Like a glove. Um, and my final thought is, I'm big on the color pink. I love the color pink. I'm big on the color purple, not the movie. Ugh, ugh. You know the difference between purple and pink? How tight the grip is. Guys, check me out Fa on Facebook. Check me out on Facebook, but check me out on YouTube. Subscribe, www.youtube.com/@SethRock1. Guys, I am thankful. Life is good. Life is hard, but life is good. See the good, be the good. Have a great Thanksgiving. Do yourself a favor, smile at a stranger. Seriously, it makes some people's day. It also gets people pissed off. So either way, you fucking win. You're affecting someone else's day. Have a great day. My thanks to Strong Island TV, to Roku, to Bobby Lucera. Don't forget Friday night, Bobby has his open mic at Paradise Studios. Guys, have a great Thanksgiving. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Call a Uber, call a Lyft, and just see the good, be the good, and have a great weekend, great Thanksgiving. I'll see you next Wednesday. Same Seth time, same Seth channel for the happy hour with Seth. Thanks, guys.